everybody wants to make a phone, and even Pepsi. That's what the rumor says. And remember one of those guys who claimed to make those powerful 10,000 mAh or 6,000 mAh battery phones? Well, that was Oukitel. Oukitel is a brand that not many people would have heard of, and today we're going to deep dive into the details of the Oukitel U10. Join me, GK from TechPP.com, as I take you through more details. So let's look at the design of this phone. This phone comes at 5.5-inch screen, IPS one glass solution JDI display. It's full HD, and the key aspect of the display here is it has a 2.5D glass curved at all around the edges, and that makes it really good. It has a good feel when you actually swipe over the screen in moving the icons or swiping and things like that, and the touch responsiveness is very good. The phone comes at 7.9 thickness and weighs around 170 grams. That is acceptable for a phone that comes at 5.5 inches display. And this is powered by a 64-bit MediaTek 6753 processor clocked at 1.3 GHz, accompanied by a Mali T720 GPU. It also has 3 gigs of RAM and has 16 GB of memory, and that can be bumped up to 32 gig via microSD slot, which also doubles as dual SIM slot as well in the tray here. In terms of the camera, this has got a very good camera in the form of a 30 megapixel Samsung lens with a dual LED flash, and we also have a 5 megapixel camera on the front. The key aspect of this phone, however, is the fingerprint scanner, which we'll come to in a bit. We also have the speaker grill at the bottom and the customary volume and the power buttons on the right, and we have the 3.5mm jack on the top, and the SIM tray also doubling as the micro SD slot. And underneath the hood you have the non-removable 2850 mAh battery, and this phone is running on Android Lollipop. Well, it is a blend of the look and feel of iOS and stock Android. For starters, this does not have an app drawer, but when you venture into other aspects like the notification toggle menu and the settings and so on, it starts looking exactly like the stock Android, and that is what Oukitel has gone with here. If you look at the icons, they again resemble iOS look and feel. The vibrant, and the display is so good that it actually jumps out of the screen to give you that enhanced feel. Overall, the OS is really snappy. In terms of the Antutu benchmark, this scored around 32K, which is not bad at all, given the fact that it's running on a MediaTek 6753 processor. In terms of the gaming, this performed really well, but one aspect that we would love to mention here is elongated period of gaming. This heated up somewhere really close to 50 degrees, and that was when we gamed up to 40 to 45 minutes on games like Asphalt and Real Racing and Riptide and so on. So that is one gripe that we noticed here. So in terms of other aspects of the software, this has a lot of things up its sleeve. So this has something called as the system gesture here, where you can program the 3-point gestures and the 3-point entry to the camera, the 2-point adjust volume, the double tap to lock and things like that. If you notice, there are 3 capacitive buttons here that you can hardly tell it's there, but when I double tap on the home capacitive button here, it locks up. Again, I can double tap to wake it up. Of course, this is locked by the fingerprint scanner, which we'll come to in a bit. So these are the kind of gestures that it has. In terms of taking the screenshot, you can put the volume rocker down and the power button at once, and there are other options to take the screenshots. So this has so many gestures and so many options to it. At times it's good, but at times it accidentally starts activating itself when you're placing the phone in your pocket or in your bag and taking it and so on and so forth. So it's like a double-edged knife there. And in terms of the media experience, the screen, like I mentioned, it's gorgeous. However, the speaker is very, very low when it comes to the volume. However, it makes up for it with very good quality output on its earphones. So let's come to the fingerprint scanner here. This is fairly easy to program. So you can use this to unlock your screen. You can set as many as 4 fingerprints, to activate the phone here. So overall, our experience was good. Occasionally, it did fail. The good thing here is even when the phone is off, you can use the fingerprint scanner to turn it on. We've seen this in OnePlus 2, and that's a very handy feature. And it works fairly well most of the times. At least 90 to 92% of the times it works well, so that's a good thing, especially considering the price range that we have here. Let's come to the camera. The camera, again, like I mentioned, it's a Samsung lens here. It's fairly basic here. You have the options for the auto mode, the beauty mode, the panorama, and so on. And inside the settings, again, you have the GPS location, the face detecting, pretty much customary of the stock Android experience that you get with any phone. If you observe there, the processing took at least 2 seconds. So that is one of the issues that we found. And this increases, especially when you bring the phone in low light conditions. The camera actually froze on us on a couple of occasions when it was almost pitch darkness, and probably a software issue that can be fixed. But that is one area where we don't know how frequently this Oukitel updates the software. We've had this phone for closely for up to 2 to 3 weeks. We haven't seen a single update come in. And speaking of which, this phone runs on Android Lollipop, and here we go. So if you go to the settings, there are a lot of details that it gives, including the ROM, the RAM, the screen size, something that we do not see in all the phones. So overall, when you consider the price range, this is a pretty nice deal. In fact, the look and feel of the phone, the screen, the camera performance, and the multimedia performance, everything is good. But there is one lack for this phone. I just mentioned that this comes with a 2850 mAh battery, which seems to be quite sufficient, but there is a lot of idle time drain. Overnight, when I left it for about 6 to 8 hours, there was a drain of 20%, which is really high. But during the daytime, when you're using it, not keeping it idle for a long time, it managed to give us around 3.5 to 4 hours of screen on time, which is decent. It could be resolved if the idle drain is resolved via a software update, but that's again questionable. So to sum it up, what's good, what's bad? The screen is very good. Overall, the look and feel of the phone, including the build, is good, because this is a complete metallic build is what they claim. But this has some kind of a plasticky finish, but it could be the kind of process that they've put into the metallic build here that sounds plastic here. The camera is good, a decent battery when you're actually using the phone. The fingerprint scanner works most of the time, and that's again a good thing. Coming to the bad aspects, again, idle time, battery drain is too much. The capacitive buttons here are backlit, but you can hardly tell that they are there. The power button actually pokes you at times because it's protruding a little more than you would actually like it. And if you observe, the screen has scratches here, and this was not when it was being heavily used or something. This is just the basic usage of placing the phone in the pant pocket or the bag and removing it. Yes, Oukitel does not claim any sort of a protection on the screen, but this is really bad. It was not even rough usage, the normal usage. So this is a matter of concern. So if you buy this phone, do remember to bring on a screen guard protection. Coming to the availability, it is available on Gearbest, who in fact ship it all around the world, but then regional rules may be applicable. Another question mark here is the post-sale service. We do not know how much of an existence it has in that. Software updates, we haven't seen much coming up. There are quite a bit of issues that we encountered, and we would love to have them fixed. This phone is really slippery. The finish that we have back here, when you're using it for some time, it starts slipping, and that could cause dents on the phone if you're not being very careful. So overall, for around $150 to $160, this looks to be a bang for the buck. And Oukitel, by the way, is not new to the game. They claim that they sell up to 20 million phones every year, and that's not a small number at all. So we hope to see some improvements coming in terms of the post-sale service and the software updates and so on. But if you're looking for a decent phone with the kind of features that this has, with especially the 2.5D glass, arc glass that this has, it could be a neat deal. Hope you like this review. Do hit the like button and subscribe for more important updates on the gadget world. Until the next one, this is GK from techpp.com signing off. Bye bye.